All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a very special edition of the Cats River Radio Podcast. My name is Luke Turner. I'll be taking you on this journey this morning. We are actually set up right now, and we are on Facebook Live. Hello, anyone watching out there. Good morning, Facebook world. We are at Vassar High School this morning. Kind of have a little roundtable discussion on a lot of positive things going on right now. And it's going to be a fantastic 45, 50 minutes. So right now I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Theron Nesbitt. Theron, say hello to everybody.
Hey, Luke. Thank you very much. Like Luke said, we got a nice round table here. We actually are sitting at a round table. But at the round table, we have our superintendent, Doc Blackwell. We have our school board president, Randy Midland. Pioneer Work and Learn principal, Chuck Fabro. And attending shortly will be Mr. Jason Kiss, our high school principal.
Awesome.
So we're going to, we'll all be able to talk and have some discussions today.
Sounds great, sir.
The one thing, Luke, I want to thank you for coming.
Oh, no problem.
I mean, this was kind of a work around your schedule, work around our schedule here, but
Indeed.
Some of your listeners may know this, but our listeners here in the audience, we have about 60 students here in the audience listening to us, but I want to talk about, you're a 1997 graduate of Vassar High School.
Sir.
I want to talk about what you did here at the high school, how Vassar High School prepared you for your life, some of your journeys that we've discussed that you've done. You've done some crazy, neat things.
A little bit.
And then I want to spend a few minutes. We do have a digital multimedia class here this year. And right now, we're actually doing podcasting and some audio recording. So
Awesome.
I want you to share how you started this, what's needed, and how you get started with doing this, and then we'll move forward from there.
Sounds great, sir. Well, yeah, like Theron said, guys, I graduated way back in 97, and after the horse and buggy would drop me off at school, that's a joke. Hey, guys, welcome. 97, man. My years in high school were very, very cool here. We were kind of talking about some memories before you guys all come in. A lot of good memories. Just some of the plays that, I would see up here in the high school. Some of the fun times. Some of the maybe dumb things you do as a high schooler, I'll be honest with you. Some of you may actually do something dumb at some point. Just throwing that out there, okay? Listen to your parents. Listen to your teachers at school. It will help you along the way. After high school, I had some crazy dreams, man. I was a dreamer, all right? I only did about a year of Delta, and then, I don't call it a mistake, because I didn't go get some fancy 4, 5, 6-year degree. I have a lot of respect for folks that do. I just had a different path that I followed. So what I did is I moved down to Cincinnati, Ohio back in 1999 for about 2 years. And although I'm not a very big guy, I trained to be a professional wrestler, right? Like Hulk Hogan, John Cena, all those folks, right? It was very, very cool. I actually spent about 6.5, 7 months training, then kind of worked the independent scene in like Southern Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, even made it as far west as St. Louis, Missouri. Oh, yeah. But after about a year and a half, one night in a match in front of about, 25 people, took a move wrong, kind of injured the back a little bit, and that was enough for me to say, you know what, let's move on. And when I moved on, I came back to Vassar for about a 6-month period, and then I decided, you know what, it's wintertime, it's really cold, so I moved to Florida. In Florida, over about a 12-year period, man, I worked for Walt Disney World. I was a tour guide. Y'all ever been to the Hard Rock Cafe anywhere? All right, well, when you go into a Hard Rock Cafe, they got memorabilia on the walls, guitars, pictures, whatever. At one point in Orlando, they had a museum set up for all the memorabilia. I was a tour guide there. I had about a 45-minute script I had to memorize, but out of the hour tours, that gave me a lot of time to ad-lib, talk to people, get to know them. Fantastic job, man. Then you move on with life, you get married, you have kids, all that kind of good fun stuff, and you want to try something else new. Well, I decided, I like being outside. It's warm weather most of the year. That alligator looks pretty cool, so what did I do? I took my butt over to Gatorland in Orlando, and I applied for some entertainment jobs, and I got one of them. So here's a dude in his mid-20s from Vassar, Michigan, that we don't have any crazy animals like that up here, so what did I do? They told me jump on the back of that alligator. Well, I did. So I went through a lot of training, became a gator wrestler down there, worked with tarantulas, all kinds of snakes, venomous and non, and did shows in front of thousands of people every day for a good number of years. But the wife and I, we didn't really have any family down in Florida. I mean, we had grandparents that would come visit our little kids often, and I do mean often, they're normal grandparents. But we just felt the need to kind of move back home, get the kids closer to family, give them kind of that small town life that we grew up with. And some of the things that just helped me along my journey, which is the small things that you learn in a small town with a great school and great people around you. like always trying to stay positive, man. You know, in a big city, you meet a lot of kids that don't really have a lot of respect for their school, their teachers, parents too. I mean, yeah, I'm a parent now. I can say I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm sure I'll make more, but they're all done in best intentions for the kids. And little lessons just from teachers. I think back, like I was telling Ms. Blackwell here years ago, I remember a thought came into my mind about one time I got in trouble in the second grade here in Vassar, Townsend North School. Got in trouble, did something I should have. My mom got the phone call, and my mom after that told me, just like your teacher told you, if you always tell the truth, your punishment will be a lot worse. And guess what? I tell the truth, man. I'm not going to beat around the bush with anybody about anything. Other than if you want to try to be an alligator wrestler, you really have to pay attention and concentrate, all right? Because that can get a little bit shaky, if you know what I mean, if you're not having a good day. And I've never got bit. I do have all my fingers, all my toes, all my body parts, thank goodness there. But they can hurt you. Even a little alligator that's 2-3 foot, that'll take a chunk out of your arm in about 2 seconds if it's allowed to. So yeah, man, I'm back up here in Vassar now. Started this podcast because A, I had the equipment laying around, and it's not that much in terms of cost for the equipment. But B, living in great cities in the U.S., man. Cincinnati, I spent some time in Iowa 2 years ago, down in Florida. I've listened to a lot of good radio. While going to Vassar School, my tech center or skill center back in the day was I left for the afternoon to go to KCQ, the country station in Saginaw. I did it that was my skill center, Business Industry Site Training, BIST program years ago at the tech center. Every day I got out of school at 10:30 in the morning, drove to Saginaw, did a few hours on the radio, come back home. That was at 16, 17. I had a really cool part-time job in high school. They actually hired me too to work weekends. So now I'm going there 5 days a week for credit and going there 2 days a week to actually earn a paycheck while in high school. Always loved radio, but again, guys, I've listened to so much good radio in different parts of the country that I wanted to do something different. I love talk radio, but I'll be the first guy to tell you, I'm not a big news talk guy, and I'm not really a big sports guy. I like entertainment talk radio. People sitting around a room. Imagine if, let's say you have some of your boys around or some of your lady friends, girls, you all just sitting like we are right now around the table. It's a Friday night, you guys, you got some Mountain Dew on the table, you got a pizza there, you all just, kind of, shooting the bull for a couple hours. Imagine setting microphones up and just recording that. That's kind of what my friend Bill Petzel and I have started, and it's caught on really, really well. And I will tell you guys, we're not far away from actually having an internet radio station here in Vassar. We've kind of secured a building, and that's going to be coming very, very soon. So you guys keep your eyes open on Facebook.
So this is a little bit different venue for you.
Oh, yes, it is.
You've been down at the restaurants. I know Pork Pine. You've been down to Riverside Grill.
We're pretty much everywhere in town right now.
So yeah, we're sitting live in the middle of a classroom.
Yes,
we're going to hear bells ringing in the background.
I like it.
So yeah, I thought that was going to be neat for you to be able to do something a little bit different.
For sure. And again, Mr. Nesbitt, we're really, really basic here. I got my iPad Pro. I got a very small mixer that you can go out for a couple $100 or less at like Guitar Center online and buy. A few microphones and an extension cord. Real basic, but guess what, guys? It gets the job done. You can record it. You can throw it up on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. That's where you'll find this show. And yeah, it's really simple, really basic. I also have a microphone that I can just plug directly into the iPad using the same program that I do. And I mean, I can come out right into the audience and interview somebody, chit-chat like that. I don't have a mic with me today. But it's very simple and brilliant technology nowadays that doesn't drain the bank account either.
Luke, are you making a profit on this right now? Or
not yet, no.
Why are you doing it?
I'm doing it because I love Vassar. Okay. We are on such an upswing right now. And I mean, again, I tell the truth. I don't beat around the bush. For a long time, Vassar was kind of on the downside of the hill,
Sure.
And right now, we're all on the up part of that hill, man. We're all up by McDonald's hanging out. Life is good. And I just want to do something fun.
But there's possibilities of...
There is. We may have secured a building in downtown, and we should, within probably a 2 to 3 month time period, have a live 24/7 internet radio channel building.
That would be really
Which
cool.
can get community involvement, any high school.
All right, but they can, and we've done a lot of things as far as graphic design, and we did some website design. We're now doing the audio and podcasting. Students are doing some voiceover work right now, and then eventually, next marketing period or sooner, we're going to get into the TV studio and do some video, which is one of the things that Luke and I had the opportunity to talk about. 2 weeks ago now, we met at the Rotary, and it was kind of neat. We both got an opportunity to present. And something new for Vassar, basically we're looking at bringing in Vassar a TV station here. An internet-based TV station right here out of the high school that students will run. And then Luke's just told you, he's already planning this 24-hour radio station here in town that sounds like he's going to invite some students to maybe participate in it.
For sure, for sure. One thing you got to keep in mind too is you want to go to, and again, I say it kind of loosely, a big city. Okay, go to Saginaw, go to Flint. You want to try to buy a 1 hour, you want to do your own radio show, right? Let's say youth there and you want to do 1 hour a week. Therins live, blah, blah, blah. And that's going to cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars for 1 hour.
And I'm going to need to find a lot of sponsorship.
Exactly. You're going to have to play all their commercials and find your own. That's for 1 hour for one show.
Sure.
We want to do is bring big city radio feel, really cool programs, unique things, but on a small town scale. I wasn't put on this beautiful planet of ours to be wealthy. I was put here to be happy. I like talking. I'm a morning guy. I like getting up really, really early, getting my day started. My wife hates that, but I do. So it's just a beautiful thing. And again, to do it here in the hometown, we're on such a roll right now. Anything to keep bringing new people, new businesses, new set of eyes to Vassar.
Yeah, so I think this is going to work a great companionship here with the TV station, radio station.
Right.
We're going to work together, make this town grow and be proud about Vassar again.
Exactly. And I don't know about you, but you doing the TV end of the deal, I mean, I know all these guys out there will tell you, you and I are very cool guys and very good-looking gentlemen. So we have faces made for TV or radio, one of the two.
Thank you, Luke. I appreciate giving us that intro. One of the big things for today, today's Count Day, February 8th, and I'm going to let Doc talk about it, but all the students that are in attendance in class all day long today, they have the opportunity to win a PlayStation 4, which we've never done before, but we're going to give a PlayStation away to one middle school, high school student and one elementary student. So I'm going to let Doc talk about kind of the finances on what Count Day means to us.
Thank you, Barron. But you know what? There's a bunch of kids out here in the audience, and I think they just want to say hi. So why don't you give me a Go Vulcans on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Go Vulcans!
So there's quite an audience here of kids, and I'm really excited to hear you are seeing live in front of you right now an opportunity for your future. That is exciting. And today we're excited that everybody's here. Why is this day important? Besides every day is important at Vassar Public Schools, it is indeed Count Day. And 2 lucky students will be going home with a PS4 and having a good time. We actually celebrated Count Day way back, if you remember, go back in time. We were here for Fall Count Day in October. And at that time, the Vassar Athletic Association came in and sponsored t-shirts to celebrate Vassar Public Schools and a way of saying, hey, let's have a great year together. So we knew that it was important that people understood these 2 days. In the state of Michigan, they determine how much each school district will get per student. And the way they count that is on specific days. So in October, 90% of the monies that come for each student come back to the school. And then when we come today, on Count Day, the remaining 10% is used to calculate the rest of the money that comes. In total, one student brings in $7,511. So it's very important that we make sure all our students are here in attendance on Count Day so that we can bring in those funds. Those funds are very important to the day-to-day operations and the programs that are happening here at Vassar School. And I just want to talk about some of the positive things, because when we started this conversation, you were talking about your experience as a student.
Yes, I was.
And then just yesterday, there were 2 students from the drama club that came in to talk to me, and they were asking specifically about some things in the auditorium because they heard about the bond. And they wanted to know about some of the things we were going to renovate and repair here in the auditorium. But the exciting part of our discussion was, I just asked them, how are things going? What do you think about your education today? And with authenticity, which means they were being truthful, they told me that they could feel that there was a difference in the air in the classroom, that they could feel that teachers were energized, that new strategies were being used, and so that they felt there was a big difference. So those are the types of things that excite us and make us continue moving forward with the programming that we have today.
For sure, when there's a buzz about anything, especially in a high school setting, it's a good thing. And from a lot of the stuff I've seen on Facebook recently, and just a lot of family and friends too in the area, there's one heck of a good buzz going on right now, not only in town, but for the school. So thank you for sharing some of that information.
Doc, did the students give you an idea of what they're feeling or what they're seeing different in the classroom this year than what we've done in the past?
Well, usually when I talk to students, they always talk about some of the newer teachers that join the staff, about the energy that some of the newer folks bring in, and actually that sort of spills over and influences other staff members to try some things. And this year, especially, the principals and myself, we've been actually walking in and observing classrooms. And what we're seeing is more engagement. Teachers are engaging kids, and kids are engaging and being a part of what's happening. Do we have areas we got to grow in? Of course, all of us do. But definitely there is that buzz that you mentioned.
Nice. And it is a different time, too, than when I went to school, because we didn't have tablets to use in class or real nice laptops or computers. We surely didn't have nice cell phones. I mean, I bought my first cell phone at IBY when Radio Shack was in there, and it was this big. It was really bad. So, but I mean, it was cool. I was considered cool then because I had one. Yeah, and now they're everywhere.
Luke, I'm glad you brought up that technology portion, because you got to figure, yes, we have grown here. I started here about 3 years ago, and when I first started here, I did a count of how many computers we had in the district. District-wide, we only had about 250 computers.
Wow.
1,000 students, 250 computers. Last month, I did a new count. Because we've added a ton of technology, because with the state mandated testing that we do online, we added our media center, we've added more computer labs, plus with our school improvement grant, we added 288 Chromebooks this year. We are over 800 computers in the district for 1,000 students. So that makes a big difference. Is technology available to our students? Absolutely. Chromebook cards, mini laptops, I guess, are now like having a calculator in the class. You can walk in the classroom, if you need to look up something,
right,
that technology is available in the classroom for the students to use, or for the teachers to use, whether it's, we do Kahoot quizzes, and we've done some other really unique things. Some of our books are now online, so the students are able to interact with those books. Very, very neat technology happening in the classroom right now.
It's great that you guys are embracing that technology too. Because a lot of times that can scare a number of folks away. Oh man, when I went to school we had books. I remember having to get this book before I went to Mr. Hurd's class, and this one before this class, and you might not have that exact same scenario as maybe I did or maybe you did going to school, but it doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad either. Not at all.
Mr. Midland, I'd like to get your opinion on some of the things that you've seen grow. I mean, you've been you worked here. You were, superintendent here of the schools, and now you're on the school board. Tell us some of the things that you've seen grow from when you were an employee versus when you're a board member, and the direction you see our schools going.
Well, I'm going to date myself, because I go back in 1974 when my wife and I came to Vassar, so if I've seen a lot of growth.
That's when I was born.
That was when you were born, I'm sorry.
That was 4 years before I was born.
Okay, enough picking on the old guy now. But we've been part of 20 years ago when we built a new central school. So we went from a 3-story building to a 1-story building, and trust me, not having 3 flights of stairs for everyone included, not just me, but we had handicapped students and made life difficult for them. So having 1 story was just great to have. The technology obviously has changed immensely. But you look at this building, the high school is built in 1960, the junior high was built in 1968. It's time we need to renovate. We need to make some changes to do the technology, to teach the curriculum that we need to teach. It's not the same as it was in 1960. It was not the same in 1974 when I was teaching. So we need to progress. We need to update our buildings. Our environment has to be up to date. When we came in 1974, this was the only school that had an auditorium. Now all the schools around us are building auditoriums, from Frankenmuth to Carroll, Millington, everybody, Reese all has a great one there. So I don't mean to feel competitive, but I want our school to provide as much as we possibly can for our students.
Absolutely.
And being on the board for the last 2.5+ years, I've seen the change. The morale is back. Good morale, excuse me.
Yes.
The positive
Yes.
morale. The attitude in the community has been phenomenal. Before I got on the board, I didn't want to go up to the grocery store. I'd get people come up to me and complain and negative this, negative that. Now I go to the store and it's all positive. Geez, the superintendent's doing a great job. Through my guidance, yes, she is. But we have Pioneer Work and Pioneer Work and Learn. They're got a lot of students out there. How many do we have now, Chuck?
Today we're going to have about 170.
170.
Wow.
And, you know, we're growing. There was a comment that I saw in the paper, and I'm going to ask Dot to clarify that for us, but it said that we were down 178 students. I believe that was accurate, but the accuracy was not the students in this building, or Central School, or Townsend North. There was a difference. Yes, the number's correct, but it wasn't all the students that left these buildings. I want to clarify that, because it is positive in the answer that you're going to receive.
Yes, that's right, Randy. Actually, when you look at the numbers, actually those students never even stepped foot at Vassar Public Schools. That was a part of a membership at the Michigan Educational Partnership Program, and currently that program is under investigation. So those students never crossed the doorway at Vassar Public Schools.
There were at least 150 students that were under that program. So if you take 178 minus the 150, we have not lost. In fact, I think we gained students this year. We gained students. Awesome. People are either staying or coming back. People are moving into the community, sending their students, sending their kids here. So that's growth as far as I'm concerned. People are worried we're losing all these students. We're not. And we need to have a facility that can handle the amount of students that we have now. And we have projected ahead 30 years to look at what our projected numbers are going to be. So our school is not going to go away. But again, was that bell going off to keep me quiet?
It's a sign. It's a sign.
So anyhow, I guess that's my perspective. There's been so much growth just in the last couple of years that I've seen. Our finances are back. Our numbers are back. Our morale is back. Our academic
It's a happy place. It's a happy place for students and staff right now.
Yeah.
Mr. Bindle, you had mentioned the 170 students down at Pioneer Work and Learn. Chuck, you're the principal down there. A lot of people don't understand what Pioneer Work and Learn is, how it operates, what you do down there. I've had the opportunity to come down there to help some of the staff with technology. I've seen what's going on. I think it's pretty neat. But explain to our listeners and our students here what goes on at Pioneer Work and Learn.
Okay, absolutely. But first thing, I'd like to recognize some royalty in the audience today. I don't know if people know this, but we have the king and queen of Ice Fest.
Stand up! Stand up!
We have Mr. Luke Bogert and the beauty Jenna High kind of big.
Real quick, Mr. Faber, since you just hinted on Ice Fest, the year, kids, was 1997. I placed second on the court at Ice Fest to someone's little brother, Earl. I won't point fingers, but that's okay. Earl and I are good friends. We actually share the same birthday as well. So, it's good to see you.
Most of the Fayetteville people are sort of like you.
Yes, they are.
Okay, yes. So, I guess first thing I just want to say, just to touch base on, before I get into Pioneers, touch base on what Randy said, is that we're just really excited. I'm excited about the direction that Dot's taken this district. I'm excited that the board's given her the opportunities to lead. I feel like we've got, I feel like we're just really rolling now. And even as a school district, but even like you're talking about as a community, things are happening downtown that haven't happened in years. Right? And it's so awesome to see. So there's a lot of positive momentum on that. As far as Pioneer Work and Learn, we have students from ages 12 to 18. We have students from all over the state of Michigan. They are typically placed there. We have, like I said, about 170 today that'll be on count day. About 50 females, maybe a little bit more, 60, and then the rest are males. But we're doing great things down there. We have some young ladies that we just did Valentine's cards for the Bavarian Comfort Care Center, the assisted living center for all kids. They love them so much, they've asked us if we would do cards all the time because the seniors really enjoyed stuff like that. And it's so good for our kids to give back. Yesterday, we helped at the mission store of St. Francis Cabrini. We're trying to get involved in the community to do things like that. Because not only to help the community, but it's just, you don't understand how powerful it is for those kids who have never done anything good, or very little good in their lives, that it's okay to do stuff. And then with that, we help, every single kid leaves with a portfolio. So when on their portfolios, they have no volunteer service. So we're allowing them avenues to do volunteer service. Sure. And then when they go back to their community, maybe they can be leaders and pillars in their community and help things out. And then that's how you rebuild all over.
They're learning some great job skills down there. I know, some of the kids are cooking. You've done some really neat things. You had a couple of staff members write a grant, I believe. All the kids get a suit coat and a tie or something like that when they graduate.
Yeah, well, if once they complete their interview process and they get their portfolio all up to date, when they leave, we wrote a grant through the 100 Women Who Care out of the Franklin branch, and actually started the whole ball rolling to get the Vassar one happening. But Shelly Atwood did that, and it was for $10,000, and we were able to update one of our life skills classrooms with new stuff, but also that every kid that would leave with a shirt and tie and a pair of slacks so that they could go to a job interview. Because we were sending kids out with great resumes, great interview skills, all these different, because we have interview days that are happening. Some happened just last week, where these kids sit across from somebody they don't even know, and practice their interview skills and things like that. So, but then they had no money for clothes, and sometimes they would force them to get caught up in bad habits again, or cause no hope. And that's not what we want. So we want kids to leave there with hope and with an opportunity. And absolutely, and just how much more confident it makes a kid that he's dressed nice and he's going to get this job over somebody else. Because I want my kids to get the job over somebody from a different school. So.
Because he might have that will and that want to go out there and do that. But yeah, I'll be honest, like a lot of younger folks, even some older folks like me once in a while, you want to also present yourself good, but if you can't get yourself in the situation to present yourself good, then that might kind of fall to the wayside.
This is a true turnaround for these students. They made a poor choice at some time in their life. They're placed here in your facility, your educational facility. You gave them an opportunity to turn around, make the right choices, and put them back on the straight path again.
Well, last year, for instance, we had 14 students graduate high school. And on their diplomas, it looks exactly like my diploma, their diploma. It says Vassar High School on it. It's got a picture of Vassar High School. My kids have never even seen the place. But you want to talk about a true thing. It doesn't say nothing about Wolverine. It doesn't say anything about that. So when they get an opportunity, they're a Vassar High School graduate, and they're able to go out into the workforce and get something and leave that past behind. And that helps just foster the relationship. We have a wonderful relationship with Wolverine Services, with Vassar schools, and it's because they know we're doing the best we can to prepare kids. And the more kids that we send out successfully and do great things with, the more that are the judges and workers, they have a choice when they send kids to somewhere. We want them to send them to us.
Exactly. And I can tell you firsthand, I worked out at Wolverine for a little while, and the amount of love and care that all the students get out there is top-notch. And, you hear things once in a while, but I can tell you 100% the truth. These are all really, really good kids. A lot of these kids have affected my life, and I'm the old guy that was, hanging out with them. They've impacted me, whether it was just something they said, maybe one of their actions, maybe one of them confided in me something, that was very special or near and dear to them. And your heart goes out to them, but you realize these are like any other kids in any other school in anywhere USA. They just need a little bit of extra TLC. You know what? They get it up there, and they do get a darn good education too.
Chuck, you had brought up something, it was a small term, life skills lab. Tell me a little bit about your life skills lab, and then I'm going to have Dot, we have Andre Legui, our community liaison here today in the audience too, we'll talk about our life skills lab. We want to compare what you guys do in your life skills lab and what we're doing in ours.
Our life skills is an actual class. So our students report every day to life skills, where you are going to learn everything. We have washers and dryers, from anything, cooking, anything that you do in a house. Shelly Atwood taught the kids how to make baby food. I mean, like, I didn't know baby food. I went to the store and I bought it from Gertrude. I had no idea. And so, but like, to make baby food from scratch. And she taught them how to, do laundry, get stains out of things. Simple things, like she has a whole lesson on couponing and like teaching us the life skill of how to coupon. Okay, we're going to plan a Thanksgiving meal, we're going to do this meal, this is how much money you have to spend, how many people are you going to be able to invite, and then how far will this go, and then they can actually go and make the meal. And I mean, things like that, from signing a lease to an apartment. Like, I mean, it's the first time you did, I mean, that's a huge skill. Going,
yes, it is.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And reading the fine print and stuff like that. What's going to cost me to get out of this if I break this lease? Our kids know that stuff. And if it's, from everything from under the sun that your parents should teach you, some parents, we're doing it with our kids. From every kid gets a Social Security card when they leave there. Every single kid leaves, like you said, with a portfolio.
So they are set. They are set to make a good living. Dot, do you want to talk about our life skills lab, things that we've done with our school improvement grant and some of the things that we've done in the community?
As you mentioned, in the summertime, we actually earned the school improvement grant for $3.2 million for the next 5 years. And in that application, which I have to make sure everybody understands, it was several hours of work and several teachers and staff members, I think 20 plus, during their summertime vacation, actually put in a lot of work to actually earn this grant. One of the programs is called the Life Skills class, and I'm going to have Andrea speak to it because she's working directly with that program. But I will say this, if you're looking for a great dinner, it's the place to come check out.
Yes. Our Life Skills Lab is open after school every day, once a week. We're doing the Life Skills Lab, and we have kids come in and cook after school. Then at 5 o'clock, they invite their parents up to have meals with them. They set the table, prepare the meal, and then get to present the meal to their families.
And this is free.
Yep, it's all
free. So some of our families don't get this opportunity to sit down with their kids. So allowing us to provide the food and the skills free was a pretty big thing for this.
Yep, and then once in a while we have some students that might not have a guest or a parent able to make it, so we take time to invite the community in. So I try to have a few community members. They come up and have meals with them and kind of see what it's all about. And we also do the life skills during the day with our mentoring classes. Many of our teachers are willing to take their mentoring classes in and cook with them. So they back up their lunch time and their mentoring time. They have like a full hour to cook with the kids and just building relationships. And so a lot of this has been relationship building between the students, the staff, and now to the community, to where we can bring it to the community also.
I just want to add a plug in here as well. I just was talking to a parent just a couple of days ago, and I happened to be invited to dinner. And she shared with me that now her son will actually cook a meal for the family, and that had never happened before. And I also just want to plug that school improvement grant. Those are the funds that are paying for all of the materials and the produce and the food that we're providing. So we are very thankful and blessed that we have that grant helping our instruction program.
Very, very cool. And any of you guys out there in the crowd, any of you high schoolers, if you guys need like a crazy cousin Luke to come up and have dinner with y'all one night, just Facebook me, okay? I'd love to come up and be a part of that. Maybe I'll talk to some of you guys about the program, your thoughts on it, get your input on what dish maybe you should make next. I like to cook too, so we can definitely have a little chef-to-chef kind of conversation.
Love to have you. We'll be sure to invite you out.
Great.
Mr. Kiss, I'd like to put you on the spot. We've been talking a little bit about positives. We started talking a little bit about the school improvement grant. Why don't you talk about the school improvement grant as far as like the coaching and some of the things that we've changed as far as what we're doing in the classroom this year?
Really, if you look at it, we've had quite an opportunity to go out and find resources from Saginaw Valley, U of M, Michigan State University, Oakland University, and what we've gone out and find is people who are experts in their area, and whether it's literacy, mathematics, student engagement, all of those things now that we're bringing into the classroom for job embedded coaching for our teachers. So we see our students are getting used to having multiple people in a classroom, giving their expertise on, and we're talking people who have been 30, 40 years in the field. So we were able to find some great people who are willing to come here as part of this grant and help us out with all the things that they've done and help show our teachers how to feel more successful in the classroom. So it's been kind of eye-opening for some of them.
Nice.
Thank you. We've got about 10 minutes left to this roundtable discussion. This is the part that I invited Doc to talk about the bond. We have a May 2nd bond coming up. It's a $3 million increase. I'm going to give Doc, you have 10 minutes. Okay, we're going to. I know. 10 minutes, but then we've also asked the students, and we have a few staff members out there. If they have questions, we want to get those answered. They can ask how big, what are we doing, how much. But I want to let you have your 10 minutes of, hey, this is what we're doing here with the bond.
Thanks, Darren. I just want to make sure that everyone knows how to get information about the bond. You can go right to Facebook, which is actually streaming live. You can see me waving. And you can get all up-to-date information. You can also go to a website called yes2vassar.com, as well as when you're on Facebook, there's a page called Vassar Strong Bond Campaign, May 2nd, 2017, and Vassar Playground Pride. All of these areas have a lot of good information, and our door is always open. If at any time you would like to come and tour the building, and guess what? We'll find you a student because they know exactly where to bring you. They'll take you on a tour so that you can take a look at what's going on in all of our buildings. Just a little bit about this bond. It's actually going to touch all of our buildings on campus, starting with our preschool building at Townsend North. We house 45 of our most precious little students there at the Great Start Readiness Program. We also have 2 Head Start programs. And in the evening, our cheerleading groups use our facilities, and now I've heard softball and baseball will probably be heading there as well. We are working currently on 3 grants to expand programming specifically at Townsend North, where we're looking towards doing things in alternative education for our secondary students, dual programs, or a middle college concept, as well as expanding preschool, because that's where you make the difference. So I'm going to put a plug in for Imagination Library. If you want to help us, people have asked on Facebook, how can we fundraise? If you can give $30 to the Imagination Library to help students that are age birth to 5 to read, that will make all the difference. So let's move on to Central Elementary. That's our building that we are actually coming to a close on the bond that was passed 20 years ago. And that will be finishing up in 2019. At that building, there's a lot of repair and renovations, from roofs and boilers and carpets and secure entrances. All of these things need to be happening in that building. Parking lot changes there where we have to make sure we're repairing the asphalt. Now we'll move on to our primary site, which is the middle school and the high school. And as Randy had mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, how old these buildings are, as you can imagine, we need a new roof. Many of the pictures that we share on the website actually will show water that will flow from our roof through a funnel into a trash can in the middle of a pod of computers, as well as a favorite kiddie pool, I think, in government class. So these are all things that you don't need to hear from me. You can come right down to the school and the kids can show you exactly where we need to have these facilities renovated and repaired. And one of the big pieces that I want to clarify out to the public is the new academic wing. If you've been following the newspaper or even some of the ABC 12 news stories, you've been hearing about the 2-story, 1-story new academic wing. Our Board of Education on February 14th is going to make it formal and make sure it's out publicly that the new academic wing is indeed a 1-story building. It will actually be placed where the current high school parking lot sits. It will have new classrooms that are designed for collaboration. It will also be a turnkey situation where there will be computers and instructional spaces that are going to be appropriate to help our kids be globally competitive. So I think I've touched base on everything that's important, but here's some dates. We want to make sure that you come out on March 4th, which is a Saturday, for the Vassar Expo. It's a business expo, and we're in a partnership with the Chamber of Commerce. And if you all know Betty from Candyland, she can answer any of your questions. And if you are a vendor out there and you have a business, please come join us. We want you to be here.
Awesome. Very, very cool.
Thank you, Don. I appreciate it, because there are a lot of neat things going on with this bond. A lot of schools have become reactionary when it comes to security. They don't make a change until something's happened. We are going to be proactive in this and making secure entrances. So a member of the community has to walk through the office before they can walk through the building. Currently, once they're buzzed in, they can actually enter all the hallways. So it's not as secure as what we need it to be. We do have security cameras, but we're going to be increasing those. A lot of different things going on. Programming, technology, you mentioned that building new classrooms. It's not just new classrooms, it's new furniture, it's new technology, it's turnkey, it's walk in, ready to go day one when they're finished. So that's been pretty neat. Anybody, students, do we have questions? Anybody?
There has to be one question.
Oh,
we have a hand.
The biggest question I hear is, how much is this going to cost me?
All right,
is there an online calculator that residents could use to find that out?
The question is, and I'm going to let Luke feed in on some of this too, because Luke's a community member. He's a resident of Vassar.
My kids go here.
He has kids that go here, so it's important to him. The question is, how much will it cost me? Is there a calculator? We currently do not have an actual calculator, but we do have an estimator, okay? So if you go to the website that Doc mentioned, www.yes2vassar.com, it will list your home value, your SCV, and what it will cost you, what that increase will cost you. And for the average household here in Vassar, in the city of Vassar, it actually boils down to pennies a day. So for what you're going to get for pennies a day, you're talking a month now, it's going to cost you a Big Mac meal, okay? You can have a lot of great things for the cost of that Big Mac. So that is a good question. Thank you, Mrs. Piazza, for that question. A lot of people in the community have had that same question. Dot and I have been out to talk to the senior citizens, and that was a big thing for them. And all these different groups that we've gone to, that's the main thing. How much is it going to cost me? So it is a $3 million increase, and you'll see we've been very transparent of how much everything is going to cost and what we're going to get for that. Line by line, the one PowerPoint actually points out line by line what the bleachers are going to cost, what the secure entrances are going to cost, what the roof's going to cost. And the neat thing about this is many of our students have family members that work here in town that are contractors. We are going to have a meeting so that our local contractors have the opportunity to do all of this work. So we're going to keep as much of the business right here in town.
You know, and that's a good point too. And again, I will tell you guys, I have two little boys over in Central School, 2nd grade and 5th grade. And somebody that went to school here in Vassar who was happy with their education, but even back in the 90s, knew that, man, our high school is kind of old compared to that one I went to in Lapeer for my cousin's basketball game or wherever. When you become a parent, you start to look at things a lot differently. I haven't been in some parts of the high school in a while. I may later on, right there, Mr. Nesbitt, took me for a while.
I will take you for that tour.
But
maybe one of the students will take you.
Here we go, definitely. To me, plain and simple, guys, I wasn't put here to be a millionaire. To me, I don't stress or worry about money things. I was put here to be happy. And when you become a parent, that's when you really do become happy. I want to see my kids grow up with a great education in a great school that's safe for them. Because I hate to say it, you turn on the news and any town USA could have something bad happen to a school because maybe there wasn't proper locks on a door or somebody just walked in. I mean, you see these news stories all the time. Not saying here, not saying anywhere even in Michigan, but you never say never. And to have a new building that could be safe, could be up to date, provide the best possible education for my children, there is no price you can put on that, and let alone if there is, and it's only pennies a day, a couple Big Mac meals a month. I mean, to me, that's nothing. Again, I'm not trying to sound like arrogant by saying that. Believe me, I'm not a rich man. But there's no money issue at all for me. It's the fact that I want my kids to grow up in a really, really great school and get the education that I believe they deserve. And this is only a positive thing, in my opinion. I mean, the schools have definitely needed some help for a long time. I'm one of the guys, I do miss the old Central School, though. I'm the guy that misses going up and down all the stairs. I miss going downstairs to your wife's music class.
And I don't think there was anything better than that gym over there, which I still wish we still had. It was that old Indiana high school kind of gym. It was beautiful. Unbelievable.
It was beautiful. But anyway, guys, at the end of the day, I want my kids to succeed in life. Whether they make the same or crazy choices like their dad did after they get out of high school, or whether they go right off to college, I'm going to support them no matter what. But that education they get throughout their young lives in elementary school and in high school, you can't put a price on that. And that's just my thoughts and opinions on it. But
we've got about 1 minute. We've got about 1 minute before we wrap this up. Last comments from the table. Anything?
Just real quick, keep in mind, Central School is now 20 years old. Does it need a new roof? Yes. Does it need new boilers? Absolutely. It's time to fix that. And let alone the high school. But keep in mind, all the rest of the high school is still going to be in place. We're renovating the gym, we're going to renovate the auditorium, and renovate the middle school. It's just the academic wing that we're replacing. And yes, the costs are inflated somewhat, but we're hoping when we actually do the bid process, after we pass this bond, then we'll see those numbers come down. So don't overreact to the actual figures.
Once again, I want to thank everybody, including our students. We got, I think, 3 classes that showed up. That is your bell. You guys are dismissed. I want to thank everybody here at the round table for showing up, and big round of applause for Luke Turner and the Chancellor of the Region.
Thank you guys. Enjoy class, all right, guys? I know you hear this from everywhere. Do your best, enjoy every day, and know that your school has your back and your best intentions.
Thank you, Luke.
Hey, no problem. Once again, guys, this has been really, really fantastic. I hope we can get through this again at some point in time. Maybe over at Doc's house for dinner one night with the steaks on the grill. That would be fantastic.
The students could go.
You know what? I'm all about that. I'm all about that. Well, very good, guys. It's been a very special presentation of the Cass River Radio Podcast. Look for big things, not only from our community and this school, but also this little podcast that could be growing real soon, real fast, too, all right? You guys have a great afternoon. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.